Virgo, and welcome to your weekly tarot forecast for the week of March 30th, guys. How are you doing? How is everybody doing? I know we're like on day 5,000 of self-quarantine, but it's okay, guys. Change is the only constant. It won't always be like this. And I know with that Mars-Saturn conjunction that kicked in yesterday, let's do our best to be grounded, safe, healthy, happy, and let's focus inward creatively, really getting some energy going. And just doing the weekly readings, I can see a lot. It's funny, people always think like energy and movement from like the fire signs and some like deep creativity from the water signs, but honestly a lot of the air and earth signs are being called upon right now, and it's because you guys' energy is so stable and it's so grounding and self-assured and just so a lot of earth signs are really being called right now. So thank you for the work that you do, guys. This is for Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. So please be sure to check all three. And if this is your first time watching me, I hope this serves you. And if it does, and if it helps or guides you in any way, please like, subscribe, comment down below, guys. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so, so much. All right, guys, my beautiful Virgos, let's just take a deep breath in really quick. Just all that stressful energy. And let's get started. Okay, now just FYI, just so you guys know, I am looking for guidance for the energy of Virgo for this week, but I'm also holding the intention for what the divine, or whatever it is you want to call it, is asking of you on a macro scale. How is the energy of Virgo being called to serve, to create, to help, to it's like a higher calling, right now. So I think I'm going to hold that intention always, but just FYI. All right, let's get started. Loving guidance for the energy of Virgo for the week of March 30th. Second, guys. All right, Virgos, you have the Nine of Wands, the Peace card, the Knight of Wands, the World, Change Your Life, Three of Swords, Two of Michael, the Magician, and New Beginnings. All right. I'm not a fear-mongering kind of reader at all. I'm more solution-oriented. What's happening? How can we fix it? And I'll be honest, Virgos, this week it's gonna test you a little bit. Now, I did mention that Mars, Saturn conjunction. So honestly, it's testing everybody as a whole. The whole world is gonna be a little bit. This week is really asking you to stay the course, Virgo. When you have the Nine of Wands, it's about staying determined, staying focused, keep moving forward, even in the face of adversity, Virgo. And this can be whether it's like your kids are driving you nuts, or you're having some hurdles this week, and you're just like, you got this. The Nine of Wands is like the night, the darkest before the dawn. Keep pushing. You're right there. So you might find this week that you really are being challenged a little bit, Virgo, but it's really for you to begin anew, to really create anew. Sometimes when we're comfortable, we ain't gonna move, So, we have the Peace card. Now, this is the Death card in traditional tarot, but don't let that, scare you. Yeah, it's very, very challenging right now with the news and everybody's stories and opinions and all that jazz. And what's more challenging is the fear matrix that's trying to create. Step right out of that. The reality you're experiencing is based on our dominant, energy. Just like there's a more enriching future that's coming. That's what the Death card is. The Death card is really about new beginnings. It's about out with the old, in with the new. And sometimes those transitionary periods are the most uncomfortable, moving from one world to the next, right? You have the Knight of Wands. Virgo, this week you're asked to follow your gut. You have two wands here. So this is about movement, energy, trusting your instincts, going after it. Motivation is not constant. Motivation comes to kickstart us, and then it's just sheer will. It's just our own getting up, doing it, right? And that's what it's about. It's time to take action after a passion. If you don't like something, if something is just really just, frustrating you, it's not about getting in your head, overthinking, overanalyzing. Do something about it. If you don't like something that's happening in your home, fix it. If you don't like how someone's treating you, change it. If you don't like a dynamic, step out of it. You must move here. You have the World. They're saying, look from the World card is, yes, it could actually be international for sure. But this is about happy endings. You have a really big thing about ending, a theme about endings this week. And don't let that scare you. Fear is not helpful, but this is about happy endings. Like, you've completed a cycle. You could only do so much in this space anymore. You've hit your limit. You capped out. And now they're saying, look at, take the spiritual growth, take that spiritual insight that you gained from all of this, and let's move forward. You have the change your life card on top of it. There's this week, the reason it's being challenging, Virgo, is because sometimes when we're put between a rock and a hard place, when we're faced with truths or realities that we don't like, we have these moments of epiphany. We have these moments of, sometimes when push people back into a corner, you push back. You're like, nah, not having it, done, gonna do this, gonna move. And sometimes if you're a hard learner, if you're a slow mover, and our signs tend to be, well, the universe is like, we need to speed this shit up. Let's just kind of corner them a bit, and then boom, Virgo, you're going to push back. The change your life card is about really finding your purpose. Really not just knowing it, but living it, acting on it. The change your life card is about breaking free from procrastination. Enough of that bull. You're going to move. You're going to embrace those opportunities for change. Change is the only constant, my friends, so let's not fight the current. But this is so that you can actually spread your wings, breathe. You can breathe, and you can move, and you can create and say, F this, I'm done. This is not sustainable. I'm going to move here. You have the Three of Swords. Now, this is, like I said, Three of Swords is a painful card. It is a heart-wrenching card. Sometimes this can be the macro scale. Sometimes we can just be overwhelmed, Virgo, with the world. We can be overwhelmed with everybody else's pain, the world's pain. So there's some Virgos in here I think are very empathetic. They feel deeply, not just for their families or for their communities, for what's happening. What's happening. And you're feeling it, Virgo, and you're seeing it, and you're trying to trudge through it, and you don't like it, and you don't want it. And I understand, and you can't control everything, but you can control you. So this is where it's going to be like, you know what? Nah, I'm not doing this. This might be happening in the bigger world, but not in my world. And you're going to change, and you're going to move, and you make decisions, and you're going to level up, Virgo. And you're going to release that past. And you have the Two of Swords. So yeah, there's going to be people, whether in your home, in your surroundings, that are just not going to agree with you. They're going to bump heads. There's going to be some bumping heads this week. If I were you, Virgo, I would do my best to spend as much time outside. And that could be your porch, your backyard, your front yard. Kind of distance yourself as much as you can in quarantine. But it's, there's a decision that's going to have to be made this week. It's a good one. Like, enough. I'm not going to be on this wheel anymore. I'm going to step it up. I'm going to push forward. And you have what it takes to do it. And you have the Magician with the new beginnings. All of this is to create this new life. And honestly, when you have the Magician card, these are things you already wanted. These are ideals and dreams and emotions and experiences you have already thrown out into the universe, whether consciously or unconsciously, whether you did it because it's a vision board, or you did it because you're in a situation like, ugh, I don't want this. And when you say you don't want this, you tell the universe what you do want to at the same time. Be careful with the verbiage you use, but energetically, all this is happening to end something in order to bring in something new. That's just life, right? You want to make this space. New beginnings is starting fresh from not just like a new home, a new family. No, it's a new energetic, foundation. Like we're starting from peace and love and healthy communication, emotional maturity and expansion, not limitation, old cycles, unhealthy patterns, karmic wheels, and you're moving forward with loved ones, with family, but you're going to have to let go and understand. And sometimes when we have the Three of Swords, that could even be letting go of certain friendships or people in our lives because you recognize it's just as toxic. It doesn't work for me or work for you. And you are going to heal, and you are going to make these decisions, and you are going to step forward. So you might have a little bit of this week, Virgo, but honestly, it's clearing space. I think I was going to use a weeds example, but I think every flower, nothing's a weed. But it's just as an example, you got to pull out what's not adding to your life, in order to make space to plant deep roots, But this is an incredibly transitional week. And if you would like a distance healing session to cut cords, to cleanse, to get a soul reading, or just a more in-depth reading, guys, my links are down below. I do have a free cord cutting MP3 down below just for everybody. Just cleanse and clear and remove everyone else's ish, whether that's people you live with or the media or whatever. Cleanse it out so you can be clear, grounded, balanced, and move forward. I hope this served you, Virgo. Have a beautiful week. My blessings with you guys, and I will see you next week for next week's readings.